Hello, welcome to JK's Corner. It's Joke here. From the title today, you can guess I'm going to be talking about simple ways to help you start on your healthy eating, healthy lifestyle journey. If this is your first time, please, before you go any further, I hope you subscribe to this channel. Everybody wants to eat healthy. Everybody wants to lead a healthy lifestyle, be active. It's easier said than done. It's actually very, very challenging. I know, you know, but there are some very simple tips you can incorporate into your day to hopefully help you on your way. And with time, that should form a part of your lifestyle and you'll be able to carry on doing that in the long term. First things first, it's a lifestyle change and that it's part of your lifestyle. So what are the simple steps you can take to achieve that? First, you're not in competition with no one. Your personal lifestyle change, and as soon as you remember that, it will help you to not weigh your successes, your victories against someone else's. As long as you're better than what you were last week or 2 weeks ago, that's what matters most. Don't compare yourself with somebody else. You need to plan your meals. If you don't plan, it's easy for you to just grab a bag of crisps or that chocolate biscuits and start eating that because you're hungry. But if you've set out your meals for the next few days, it's easier for you when you're hungry to reach into the fridge and just pick that bag of fruits you've prepared or bag of salad or maybe that Tupperware with whatever healthy food you've got in that, ready made for you to eat. So preparation is key to a successful weight loss journey. Have like a lot of weight to lose. Bear in mind that it will be as long as you stay committed to your journey, you will see this weight drop off you so quickly and you'll be so excited about your journey. You'll be happy with the progress you're making. It will fall off like that. As soon as you get to that point where you have maybe 5 kilograms or 10 kilograms to lose, then it starts getting tricky. Then you need to re-strategize. Then you need to think just reducing your portion isn't alone. You need to be very clever in how you're cooking. You need to be sure you're not cooking with that excess oil. You upping the vegetables in your food, having a lot more water readily available to yourself. Now, if you live in the UK and in summertime, in wintertime, it will be very, very difficult for you to carry on drinking water. You need to then think of what you want. Yeah, you want to drink tea or coffee, but be mindful. Sweetening your tea or coffee is another way to hinder your progress. Why don't you put in freshly cut fruits into your water to infuse that little, the sweetness from the fruit into your water, and that would make it easy for you to drink. Or maybe even have like warm water. It's easier said than done to keep up the good work. If you find you're also struggling, maybe just commit. Maybe my breakfast is going to be a very healthy option, so commit to having your breakfast the healthy way, and then your lunch and supper you can then maybe reduce your portions if that's the way you can only manage to do it. Again, don't forget it's a lifestyle change. It will take a while for you to settle on the particular way of doing it. Again, if you're a mom who's having to cook for a family, it can be very difficult sometimes. If your family don't want to eat your healthy meals and then you're having to cook 2 separate meals, it makes it very difficult for you to keep yourself motivated to do this. So, just little tweaks here and there would really go a long way to help you. Maybe don't use oil when you're cooking your stew. You're cooking a chicken or meat stew. Your chicken or meat has its own natural oil anyway. I know what you may think, ooh, I don't know, will that taste good? Give it a try and see if it'll make any difference. Don't use any oil, chicken, meat, whatever, and don't tell your family either. See their reaction to it. Did they complain? Did they like it? And then make it a permanent staple in your family meal. Not eating immediately is also a good trick to help you reduce how much food you eat. So maybe when you wake up in the morning, start about your daily chores or whatever you're doing, and then maybe after a couple of hours you can start your day with maybe your breakfast, or even before your breakfast have maybe a couple of drinks, maybe your coffee or your tea. Remember, sweetener of any kind it's best to avoid them. And I've been doing that for months, maybe even up to at least a year now, not sweetening my drinks. But I have to tell you, it is quite difficult. But then mind over matter, know what you're aiming for, just stick at it, and hopefully you'll find it easier to do not deprive yourself of that treat you want to have. Just plan it into your day. Don't deprive yourself of that snack you want to have, or maybe that pizza that's coming. As long as you know it's coming, it's easier for you to then manage it into your meal plan for that day. You know then, oh, it's only one meal. It's not going to derail all your hard work for the previous few days, and then you get right back on track for the next meal. A while for you to get it going, but if you start depriving yourself of all the things you love, it gets boring, and then you just decide, do you know what, I can't be bothered doing this anymore, and you just stop completely, and that is not what you want. And if you're a mom who's like me, hardly ever want to raise their finger to do anything, always asking the kids to go out there and do it, I hate to break it to you, but it's actually a good way to help you burn those calories. Get in there yourselves, washing the dishes, cleaning the bathroom, rather than asking the kids to do that. It's actually a very good way to help you on your journey, as to help you burn calories. And then you can also then include walking or running if you want to do that. That helps as well. Little exercises that you can maintain, because not everybody wants to do cardio exercises. Just little things you can incorporate, which makes the house chores one of the most ideal way of helping you burn calories. Another good practice that I've found is starting and finishing my day with fruits or vegetables. Watch what you eat and how you eat them. It's all part of the process. The mind adapts easily to what you introduce to it. 1 tablespoon of any cooking oil is around about 120 calories. Now, if you now imagine how much tablespoon goes into your breakfast, your lunch, your supper, are excess calories that you don't need, because your chicken, your meat, your cheese, butter, they all have oil. If you like your bread, switch to, instead of your 800-gram loaf of bread, they do some, the 400-gram loaf of bread. They look the same, but they're not as big. So you can actually have 2 slices of that same bread to equal to 1 slice of the 800-gram loaf of bread. I'll insert a picture for you to see what I mean, and you can look at the differences in the sizes, and then that would help inform your choice when you serve in your meal, when you're having your bread in your meal. Food is meant to nourish us. We need to overfeed ourselves. We can always eat enough to get the necessary nutrients from the food, and that should be enough for us. Again, some parents are guilty of this. When I'm guilty of that, I don't want any food to go to waste, so I end up eating more than I need to eat. You really don't need that. If you think about it, you don't want the food to go to waste. But any extra food you're eating, it's wasted. It's being stored as fat. What happens then? Then you have extra calories you do not need, that you need to work to burn off. Use a smaller serving plate to serve your own food. You'll still have a full plate, but in quantity will be less than what you'd normally have. If you don't like salads and you prefer our traditional Nigerian vegetable soups, cook those instead. You're still eating your vegetables. Just be mindful, no extra oil. You don't need them, because your fish, your chicken, meat, they have oil in them. For a lot of people are now advocating to cook with less oil. It's all over Instagram. You can see them everywhere, and the food do not look any different, and they certainly don't taste any different. Keto diet, it's really good in the short term. In the long term, I don't think so. You'd want to have your carbohydrate back on your plate. Increase the quantity of fruit and vegetables you're eating compared to what you were eating before. So you can still eat your rice and vegetable soup if you so like. Just reduce how much portion of the rice you're eating. Carbohydrates, really, your rice, your amala, eba, iyán, those carbohydrates, they really are a side to your main. So make your efo or your okra soup, make them your main dish. not your eba or your rice. That carbohydrate is a meal for high activity. Then it makes you understand better that if you're sat in front of a computer all day long, you're hardly needing that much carbohydrate in your meal. You know, you need nourishment. You need just enough carbohydrates to get you through the day. You certainly don't need a whole plate full of eba. Comment to follow on Instagram. Lose It Nigerian. Of course, for Nigerians, it's a very valuable resource I found, because through her, I was able to eat my Nigerian meals in a way that supports my healthy lifestyle. I had tried in the past to try lose weight, you know, using Weight Watchers or Slimming World. They never worked for me because they were not built for a Nigerian diet. Blessed the day I found Lose It Nigerian. That was a game changer for me, because it was there. I was able to then eat my Nigerian meals and be able to do what I need to do to help me on my journey. Also, the Fitness Chef is another good resource on Instagram. He compares, you know, he does visual comparison of your food. So even when you look at your McDonald's or your KFCs or your Pizza Hut, those meals, when you eat them as part of your healthy lifestyle, they're not that terrible meals that, you know, the media try to purport sometimes. So it's just knowing the balance of how to go about your, you know, journey, how to incorporate them into your lifestyle. Again, like I said before, if you know you're going to eat that pizza or you're going to eat that big pasta dish, just account for it, and then you adjust your previous meal or your meal after accordingly to make sure you still finish the day or the week on a calorie deficit. Because having brown rice instead of white rice, or having brown bread or wholemeal bread instead of white bread, it's still the same carbohydrate. You get more other nutrients from having the brown instead of the white, but you don't get any reduced carbohydrate. You're still getting from those. Again, brown sugar is no better than white sugar. It's all just read what it says on the packet before you make that commitment to saying, oh, I'm swapping brown for white. It's quite easy these days. You can have aubergine to replace your amala. That's quite good. I think that's one that you hardly tell that it's different. You wouldn't be able to tell it's not elubo that you made it from. Cauliflower is very good as well. Personally, I don't really like cabbage because it's got sweetness. I've tried a swede as well. I wasn't a fan of swede, but give all these vegetables a try. You use a psyllium husk to bind them. I have a video, I'll link it up here for you to see how I make my vegetable okele. This is not saying you can't have your eba or amala or pounded yam. Lose It Nigerian, on her page, she has visual representation of how much calories you get from 100 gram of these food. Yes, 100 gram is quite small. I understand that compared to what we've been raised to eat, but you should be treated as if it's your side, not your main dish. So if you have that in mind, you can have a bowl full of soup, or, you know, afang or eforiru or okra soup, ewedu, and have a side of that okele. Drink lots of water as well. You know, when you're feeling hungry and you know it's not time for you to eat yet, try and drink some water. It's difficult, but it gets the job done. Mind over matter. I hope you found these tips helpful, and if you have any more suggestions, please leave them in the comment below. I'd like to try some of your suggestions as well. Again, like I said, personally, these are some of the things that I've done that have worked really well for me, and I hope you give them a try. Thank you very much for watching this video till the end, and I hope to see you in my next video. Bye bye.